You know what would be helpful if I actually brought up my fucking notes for this episode.
I am all ears. A ghost fancast.
Hello, welcome to the I Am All Ears podcast with me, Älva.
Yay!
Yay!
Today we are going to be talking about Australia. And I'm joined today with Pixie and Madge.
Thank you for having us.
Yay! Woo.
Today we're going to be talking about why the fuck is Australia missed off the tour list. I've also got to give a shout out to Asia because I know they don't get a lot of tours. South Africa, New Zealand, but I've got two Aussies with me today, so we're gonna chat to them and see what they think.
Hello guys, this is Editing Älva. So literally the day after we recorded this podcast, they decided to drop the tour dates, didn't they? So this was the Australian Ghesties reactions.
Ah!
Are you guys okay?
I've been fucking crying since I saw the post. Nah.
Are you okay?
No,
Oh,
I really just got my hands from Stop Shake.
fucking trust them to do this just as we do a whole ass thing.
I feel like it's on brand though. Oh my god.
I'm not saying we made this happen, but we made this happen.
We did. Ugh.
Not us being like, oh, look at us recording this. Watch as he drops tour dates tomorrow. Fucking drops them the next day.
Ugh.
Motherfucker.
My chest is like it's like, oh my god.
So I had like an asthma attack today. And I feel like I'm gonna have another one.
Oh, I'm probably gonna be joining you with the asthma attack. Oh my god.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm gonna need to tell work, hey, can I step off the floor on Wednesday?
Oh yeah, to get tickets.
The tickets are literally going on the same day as Avatar. That's so fucking cruel.
I'm sorry. No, pre-sale for us is the 26th. Wednesday.
Yeah, I just signed up. Ugh.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking vomit.
The tickets
my
aren't
God.
as bad as I thought, like price, based on if that screenshot's accurate.
What were they saying? I haven't seen it.
Like 129 for Pit, which is normally what we pay.
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
I'm gonna shit myself.
Pain, but I'm so happy.
Oh fucking hell! Like I can't stop shaking. I'm just.
I know, it's
What's that venue
on
like?
my birthday! It's on my birthday! The Brisbane gig is on my fucking birthday! Are you kidding me? My phone's blowing. Everyone's
Yeah,
finally being like,
fine.
Madge!
Who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about how they got into Ghost?
Oh, do you want to go first,
Oh.
Pixie?
Oh, all right. I want everyone to know that when I say this, it wasn't during the Mariana Cross TikTok craze, but I did discover them on TikTok. I was just randomly swiping through the videos, and up came this video of this very, very attractive man singing this song and doing something incredibly inappropriate with a microphone stand, and I was like, "Damn, who is this?" And I was like, "Okay, Ghost." It's like, okay, Ghost, look, I have heard of them, but I'm really, really anal when it comes to music. I will listen to like the same band for 5 years straight. I was like, I heard them ages ago. All right, let's give them a listen. And now look where I am now. Shit. It was Terzo, by the way. Blame him.
It's always
Oh,
Tezo.
of course.
I'm still pretty new to Ghost. I got into them. It's almost been a year now. I also want to say it wasn't Mariana Cross for me. Not that fans who did get into them through Mariana Cross are less. But like I kind of had heard of them because I have a friend who was really into them. So like I'd always see like gift sets on Tumblr of this weird dude in a mask, like old weird dude, and I was like, who the fuck is that? And like I think she tried to throw a couple songs at me, and I don't know, it didn't click yet. But then I heard Hunter's Moon and then Square Hammer, and that's what got me into them. So yeah, and now here we are.
It's always a slippery slope, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It was real fucking fast, slippery slope.
Yeah.
It does. It just takes you so quickly. Like, yeah, it's
Once
I don't know what it is.
Once they get their claws in you, it's like I've barely listened to anything else since.
Same.
Literally. So I want to quickly talk about since this is a Australian themed episode, I just want to quickly tell you guys, I think I've told you all this briefly, but for those who don't know, before I got into Ghost, I was a very casual fan, but like, you know, my life wasn't dedicated to them like it is now. And in the year of 2020, I decided I was actually going to move to Australia and do the typical 3 years away kind of thing. I was getting ready to do all that. And then Ghost came and took over my life. And it actually put me off going because of, I mean, we're going to probably talk about some of these things in a little while. But obviously, where you guys are so far away, I was like, I don't want to be so, like, I don't want to be away from this band. Like, so
It's
yeah,
very
Ghost have ruined my
isolating.
life
Yeah.
plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have literally stopped my moving plans. So, but yeah, we'll get into, why. Because it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be that, like, you know, you go to a country and suddenly you're isolated from everything.
Yeah, it's fucking real.
Like, I get it though, because like it is a fucking nightmare to get here. Like, how long was it? Pull up the notes. How long was it to like get from like say the US to Australia? It's like 24 hours almost,
all right,
isn't it? Yeah.
I made this. Okay.
We're
all right,
prepared.
I did my research. Because, you know, it's a little bit confusing because, you know, smaller artists, aka, you know, kind of Sleep Token and Avatar, they're doing Australian tours. Sleep Token is next week, and Madge and I are going. So cool. But like, let's just say that, you know, I was going to fly to Los Angeles for like, you know, maybe the September 11th or 12th show. Might leave on the 9th and then, you know, come back to Australia on the 15th. I'm not gonna really get rid of the jet lag, but, you know, hop over, blah, blah, blah. The cheapest flight as of this recording on the 22nd of April is $1,507, which would then go via Sydney with a 12-hour and 45-minute layover, and then to Vancouver, Canada, with a 2-hour and 35-minute stop. I would leave on the
Wow.
Saturday the 9th, and then get there on the 10th of September, so that's a whole day. And then if I were to say, again, leave America on the 15th, I'd go to Vancouver, have a 2-hour, 55-minute stop, and then get back into Brisbane, which is where I'm based, at 7 a.m. on the 17th of September. If we were to go via our flag carrier Qantas, it would be $2,999 on a 13-hour, 14-minute flight for a couple of days. That's not including any travel or food or accommodation, just that to get across the pond. Not including like passport fees if you need to get a passport.
And then, you know, obviously hotel fees on top of
Yeah.
that.
Plus all the money we give to Tobias Forge himself.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Like, as much as I love Ghost, I am fucking broke. So, like, that's not possible.
Yeah, so it does seem like it's such a it's strange because it's such like a pivotal part of, even though you guys aren't in the West, it's a westernized country, and it's kind of sad that it's not included with all these things that go, because there's some places they can't go to for like political or like safety reasons, but there's nothing wrong with Australia apart from your guys fucking spiders.
It's just in the water.
Yeah, just don't go in the water, you know, and you're all gravy. But yeah, it's just so fucking far.
It is. And then it's also the Australian dollar's like fucked. Like,
Which
it's very expensive to come over here, so like I do understand that, but
it's
like
expensive to buy anything that isn't in Australia. I've made a point multiple times where, let's just say I wanted this particular Ghost shirt from Hot Topic. With shipping on top of it, it would end up being
it's like more than the shirt.
like $119 like Australian dollars just for one shirt to get it over here. The shipping is more than the shirt. I'm not in Narnia. I'm in Australia. Come on.
I mean, it's so weird because like I said, it's not like it's a place in the middle of nowhere that maybe one person has heard of this band and they're the only fan in their country. Like, Australia has its own community from what I can see. There's so
we have a
many
pretty big
fans.
metal culture here. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely like it's always been pretty big in like Melbourne and Sydney, and Brisbane's a bit more. I think they're a bit more closeted. I think, but in recent years, and like especially we just had Knotfest about a month ago, almost. Like it's thriving. Like there is definitely like we saw fucking ghost shirts at Knotfest. Like we saw a Prequel Australian tour shirt, like, and we had like we pinned them down and were like, "We love your shirt."
But like even with that, Knotfest sold out at all three, venues. There was a total of about, from what they have said, 90,000 people in total over the weekend went. Brisbane alone sold out. The capacity for the showgrounds that they performed at was about 23,000. There were absolutely more than 23,000 people.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
There was potentially between 40 and 50,000 people. Like, that was the
Wow.
biggest gathering of band shirts in the state in one spot. Like, so there's got to be other Ghost fans within that crowd that would definitely help fill out a venue.
For sure.
Yeah, and it's not like Ghost. I don't think it would be that much of a leap. Like, yeah, you might not be selling out these arenas, but I'm pretty sure they could do an arena at even like a half capacity, because that is a thing. You don't have to completely fill the bowl. You can bring the stage forward and do like a half capacity arena, and that's still a decent size show. And you can still bring the same. From what I'm gathering, you can still probably bring the same stage setup and rigging and stuff. It's just the actual audience is smaller. So it's not like you're asking them to downsize into a theatre where then they've got to suddenly change, everything. I could be completely wrong. I might be talking out my ass. If anyone knows anything about stage production, please tell me if I'm talking bollocks. But yeah, to me that just makes more logical sense. Like, I think they did that for Brazil. They were originally selling them at half capacity arena bowls, and then obviously it was so well in demand and sold out that they opened it up to full capacity. So I don't see why that can't be trialed.
Yeah. Well, we've actually done a lot of research into like venues around like
Go
our
on.
area of venues. So we've got our own little notes about this. Because they did also Australia has had a download festival, just so people know. It's only happened.
And Ghost were on it.
Yeah, Ghost was on it. But they did one side show at the Tivoli, which, funnily enough, was misspelt as the Trivoli on all their promotional stuff. So on the shirts, the poster, everything. So that's like a 700-person capacity. That's where Sleep Token's going to be. So they've definitely outgrown that fully. It was a very intimate show from everything that I've seen, and I'm very, very jealous. The entertainment center, which is our big main venue, it has a 14,500 capacity. They could definitely do like a half show there and then open more tickets if it were to sell out. The River Stage is just shit. You don't want to do an outside show in Australia at all.
Yeah.
And there is the Fortitude Valley Music Hall, which has a 3,000 standing capacity and 1,100 seated. But I think, like, going off the stage itself, I don't think it would fit there. I think the stage would take up most of the fucking floor.
And like, but like, if I can jump in, the whole thing, like, it's very common with bands in general coming over here is they do scale back their like setup for the stage. Like back when I was a Muse fan, and they came over in 2013, they had this huge like setup for like their American tours and their Europe tours. And when they came here, they just was nothing. And it's just, I think it's also the fact that they have to ship everything over. That's also an expense. It's a lot. So if they did come, I think when they came for that Brisbane gig, they scaled back a lot with that. I don't even think they had a backdrop. It was just black curtain. So, I imagine they probably would, scale back for us because no one else does.
And I know that would kill Tobias because he is such a perfectionist.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I'd be devastated if we didn't have like the full backdrop and setup and everything.
It's just such a shame because, like I said, there is like a fan base there. It is, you guys were having meetups from what I saw.
We had a few, yeah.
been like having those meetups? Like, has it been kind of nice just to talk to people in your area and sort of meet up and, hang out and I suppose fill the void of the lack of presence of the band?
It definitely helped, yeah. Like, it's nice to have someone to yell at about, things. Because I'm so used to, like, having interests that none of my friends are into, so I'm just kind of, like, screaming into the void. But, like, having a group of people I'm able to, like, talk about the thing I love with, it's really, it's such a nice thing,
It's also good because we all have interests outside of ghosts that all kind of like combine as well. And when I was doing some research, I found that like Swedish people don't have things like awkward silences. They have what's called a comfortable rest. So like
Yeah.
if you go quiet with like when you're talking to a Swede, it's not awkward. It's just this is nice. And that's what I have with all of my ghost friends. Like we have sat on the train at 2 a.m. and not spoken to each other, and it's been fine. It hasn't been awkward. We were just all very tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Like while we're still talking about if they do this here and like, staging and whatnot, we've got notes here about how they should not do another fucking tour here in summer.
Oh, I went on a massive spiel about that.
Yeah, because like, Pixie's notes here, it's like I'm talking about Knockfest again. Like, 90% of the bands, especially the Nords, like, who were the ones you made note of?
So like both Anders from In Flames and Johan from Amon Amarth, they just
constantly whinged about the heat and how like, the Aussies are fucking badass for being able to put up with the heat, and it's like it was like nothing for us, but like I mean it was hot, and like I got severely sunburned that I'm still sporting now, by the way. It wasn't that bad if you were in the shade, really, but like like pretty much all the bands whinged about it besides like
the Aussies,
the Aussies, yeah.
Like
the bands were in shade their whole sets, and like every couple of minutes they'd get like sprayed with like the mist. So like it was cool. Like I guess cool. It would be cool for us, but like clearly not for them. But yeah, a lot of complaints about the heat.
Because
sorry guys, we're just going to turn off the sun.
Both Anders and Johan, they were like, you'd be legends in Sweden because there's snow on the ground right now, and then you look at you guys, they're standing in their little shade of their water and everything, and we're like looking at them going like dying, sweating, and like this was March the 26th. It's technically autumn in Australia, but
yeah, the sun's still brutal.
And courtesy to Angie, also known as Doomazuma, who did the Ghost Iceberg. She went to the Brisbane sideshow, and apparently Copia wouldn't stop talking about how the humidity was so bad and it was so hot. So like,
oh my god,
dude, you know that it's bad during summer. Please don't come here during like from November to like April. Don't come here.
When's your guys' winter? It's like it's like May to July-ish, is it?
March, April, May, June, July, August. June, July, August is our winter.
Yeah. Which is why thank God for Avatar, because they're coming in August.
I think the problem we're probably having then is obviously there's a lot of European festivals going on at that time. So I think maybe one year if they just give the festivals a rest, then yeah, that would work out quite well because then you haven't got the elements against you. But yeah, I suppose it's at this time they were like, oh, let's just tackle the European festivals and see what's going on.
And like we don't have many festivals. Like we had a thriving festival culture in the 2000s, but yeah, that's a whole thing we could talk about. But it's just it's dead, and like there's a couple, but they're not really catered to metal or rock or anything. It's
like Good Things is kind of more like the emo kind of rock. They had like Bring Me the Horizon and like Amity Affliction, those kind of bands. So not necessarily something that Ghost would really fit into.
And then the rest are just like pop and sort of stuff. So.
Splendor on the Grass.
Yep. That was what I was going to say. I was like, I know there's one that's called like On the Grass, but I couldn't remember the name of it.
I've been to that, but yeah, Ghost would absolutely not fit on that bill.
So when they do eventually come over, who could you see opening?
Again, we've had this discussion.
Ah.
We've got fucking notes. So it's really unknown because, like, you know, we have Sleep Token next week. We still don't know who is opening for them. We do have like the potential for North Lane or Alpha Wolf because they are local Aussie bands. We would love Parkway Drive to
Oh,
open.
Parkway would be amazing.
But they're also headliners, so it'd be like a but that'd be nice. But we honestly have no idea. We would love Spirit Box or Twin Temple.
I'd kill for Spirit Box, yeah. They're the one I would want the most.
Yeah,
Because I saw them at Knotfest and they were phenomenal.
I put down some notes of like who I thought could potentially be a thing, but again, two of these are jokes. One is it could go either way. One of them is Airborne.
Ooh.
Because they're kind of
Okay.
like rock and roll
Yeah.
AC/DC, which I know Tobias is all about, but it's whether it would fit into a ghost show. But they're like still, I've seen Airborne a few times, and they're fucking amazing and insane. But like, it's whether. But then, like Tobias has said, he's had like a mix of bands. He's had like people do like orchestral stuff. You know, Spirit Box are a little bit more sort of, I don't know,
They
the
call it like
genre.
metalcore.
Yeah, and then you've got like Twin Temple, who are like satanic doo-wop. So I can't see why he wouldn't pick like, you know, a good old rock and roll band to you know, to come in. I jokingly put Tame Impala, but more for the
Oh,
creepy
God.
elements. And then my final joke one was the Wiggles.
yes.
Oh my God.
absolutely. I was just thinking that.
I'd be so fucking down for that. Oh my God.
I want to remind a lot of people that know me. I went to like the Adults Wiggle show, which before you start, no, it's not something sexual or anything. It was just the original Wiggles. So like Greg, Murray, Anthony, and Jeff singing the OG songs in front of a bunch of adults, and
The adults who grew up with them, yeah.
it was fucking incredible. It was at our entertainment center. It sold out. So they filled 14,500 people. We had a little mosh pit going on. We were screaming. Robert Owen showed up and sang the Crocodile Hunter song. It was insane. I would love that for a ghost show, and I would love to see parents think that it's an actual children's show and bring the kids, and then
God.
suddenly Ghost comes out.
To be fair, I could see it working. And
Yeah,
like you
so
said, it
could
was
I,
an.
yeah.
I mean, the fact they sold out in 8, because I think if what I remember, it was literally 18 plus. Like you had to be 18 to go. It
Yeah.
wasn't just like a advertised to adults. It was literally age restricted. And yeah,
Brisbane, I think Brisbane and Sydney got dropped down to 15 plus, which was really annoying. But majority of it were people were over 18, and there were like 40-year-old women getting drunk and throwing punches in the pit. People were vaping, and like the security was telling us not to jump and down, not mosh. And then like one of the openers was like a DJ, and the first thing he said was, "I want to see you guys jumping up and down." And security just threw their hands up, and we were just like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So just imagine like a metal style pit of jumpers, but it was us and the Wiggles.
Going hard to fruit salad.
no, for real, I could actually see it working because have you seen? I think is it the Triple J sessions with the Wiggles where they covered like Tame Impala, and they're
Oh,
an
yes.
actual good rock band if they put their minds to it. So imagine like the Wiggles come up on stage and just did a bunch of like, I mean, oh, okay, wait, I'll get onto this in a second. Imagine if they just did like a bunch of rock covers for a set, but like
They
fruit
did
salad.
for an album.
Oh fuck. That would be
The album's called Re-Wiggled, and they covered a lot of songs. They did Rihanna's Umbrella. They did Pump
Oh my
Feed by
God.
the Chats. And it's a banger album. I put it on at work all the time. People don't know I work with children, and so I just play this album all the time. And then they got other celebrities to like and bands to sing their songs. So there's like Custard doing "Can You Point Your Fingers and Do the Twist?" Banger.
Oh my God. Okay, then I guess my next question is, what ghost song would you like the Wiggles to cover?
Oh shit.
Oh my God. Oh fucking hell.
That's a thinker.
God.
Oh my
okay.
God. I
Could you
gotta try and
imagine,
remember the Wiggles catalogue now. It's been a while.
Could you imagine the original Wiggles doing fucking Kaiserian?
Oh my God.
What's like the cheesiest ghost song? Like I was thinking that's like
I think they could do Dance Macabre. I think that'd be a good one.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, something like that, or like Square Hammer, just something that is like pure pop, but
Anth-
like,
Anthony, who's a raging Christian.
Oh, God.
oh, is he
Yes, he is.
suddenly doing Year Zero?
Oh my God.
Under his skivvy,
Imagine
he's
that.
got a lot of like religious Jesus-related tattoos.
Oh no. So, before I get on to, because most of my next parts are a little bit more jokester. Is there any serious topics you want to like discuss before I move on to just the absolute unhinged batshit stuff?
Well, we
yeah.
haven't covered like how it feels to see like, especially on Twitter, like fans talking about how they're going to multiple gigs, and I've seen a couple tweets now about the first anniversary of their gigs, and like I'm not bitter, but I am bitter, but like I wouldn't go after someone with that stuff because like I am excited, happy for them and stuff, but it's really disheartening for us because like
Yeah.
no flack on you, Älva, for your like
Yeah,
rituals
we won't
that you're
shit
going
talk you,
to.
don't worry.
I am the problem. I am everything that's wrong in the world.
It's all your fault. That's why they're not coming.
That's why it's just me. I'm just hogging them all. God. No, but let's go off. Go. The stage is yours. Go off.
like it is really hard, especially like just being a music fan in general, because if you live in like North America or Europe, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a show from some of your favorites, and you're
For
guaranteed
sure.
to have multiple legs, multiple years of touring. And it's hard for us to get anywhere, as I stated earlier. Like, look how expensive it is. And majority of the time when bands do come to Australia, if we are that lucky, it's normally like the East Coast. It's Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney. Adelaide,
Lucky if it's even
lucky.
Brisbane, because it's usually just Melbourne and Sydney.
Yeah. And
Justice for Perth.
and it gets a little bit toxic sometimes, because if you vocalize, oh, North America and Euros, stop talking about it, you will get attacked. Like, I said that living in North America and Europe, it's a privilege for music fans. And I received legitimate threats of people telling me to pretty much hurt myself because, in their words, quoting what I was said, I didn't deserve to see Copia. And coming from like the fandom, that's really sad. And I do want people to know that if Tobias saw people talking that way to other members of the fandom, he'd be so disappointed, because look, we are allowed to be upset because we don't get tours often. We just got Knotfest. This is the first time they've brought it to Australia, and so it's more of a fact of stop complaining that oh, Europe only got festival tours. It's still a tour. You still get a show. We got nothing, and it's annoying seeing this is a world tour and you're going to America 3 times and Europe 2 times, which you're probably going to have another legs after that. And it's not like it's been spaced out either. It's bam, 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 bam. Like, stop sucking the American cock for once. Stop edging the Aussies, or even, Asia, and, thankfully South America's getting something. Give us something, because
they were the one I was genuinely hyped for, because like with the American tour, I just kind of rolled my eyes. I was like, again, I'm excited for to a degree.
We went off when those dates arrived because we were so happy for them, because we know how,
because we understand, yeah.
Exactly. And it's like I said, I am not one to talk because look at what the fuck I'm doing next month. But like at the same time, I recognize the privilege that I live in. Like, not only do I live in a place that's, full of tours and, all that jazz. I mean, myself personally, I have to like recognize, that I come from, not a privileged background, but my situation at the minute, it means I can do these things. But also, like, if there were times where I couldn't afford to go see Ghosts, like there's actually 4 times where I had to pass up the opportunity. But at the same time, I suppose at the time I didn't really think about it too much, because I thought, well, they're going to be back because of where I live, and that is a really privileged thing to have. But whereas some countries, they don't even they'll come like once, and then it's like, okay, oh shit, are they ever going to come again? And I can't imagine living like that. That's like terrifying.
Yeah, because if they do ever eventually tour here again, like even if I don't have the money, I'm still gonna get a ticket somehow, because when am I going to get the opportunity again?
We don't know if they will come back. And then
Like, see you in 10 years, I guess.
And then it gets even harder for our neighbours across the ocean, New Zealand.
It's even
And
worse.
we know people who will fly over there. Like, I'm originally from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Let's just say an example, I wanted to go see my family. I fly from Brisbane to Auckland, which is the closest city to where my family is based. And that's a minimum of a 4-hour flight. So imagine trying to, depending on which island you're coming from and which Australian state you're going to, they would need to get a passport, despite the fact that there's been a push for them to not have a passport because it's so close. They would need to get a minimum a $600 return flight to get here. Have to go through the immigration process, and getting to Auckland from Brisbane is a 3-hour and 55-minute flight. So it's even harder for them, and no one ever tours New Zealand. So that's one of the thankful reasons why I'm glad my family immigrated here with me. But even still, if we ended up moving back and I discovered the bands that I love now, God, I would have never seen them.
I was just going to say, even in our own country, people did fly up from other states to the Brisbane show because that was the only show they did, because they had the commitments to Download Festival. So yeah, the only other actual gig they could do in Brisbane, and lots of people flew in from other states. So everyone is willing to. It is that really want to see them. So the demand is there. So what's
hurry up.
Yeah, TikTok.
I think people think that Australia is the size of Europe, when in reality it's much, much bigger. Like you said, just to get over from, what is it, the East Coast to New Zealand, what is 4 hours? And bear in mind, I can get from where I am over to Stockholm in almost 2.
It's 2 hours, 25 minutes.
Yeah, and when you look on the map, you think, oh, that's not that much different. But actually, fun fact, most historically drawn maps are incorrect in terms of scale. So, it's not as simple. I could get to Russia in that time.
That shit blows my mind, how you can just travel to another country like that. Because, you travel 2 hours in Brisbane, you're still in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still
and
in
I know
the same
that America's
state.
kind of this. I know America kind of has a similar thing, but in terms of this context that we're talking about, obviously, how many dates is the American tour? There's 20 or something. So there's a lot to choose from.
It's cheaper to fly through the different states in America than it is to fly in your own different states in Australia. I know in America you can get flights for $70 to go to another state, whereas here in Australia, just a one-way ticket to Sydney is $170. And that's for flying for an hour and 10 minutes. You get up in the air, you're in there for a little bit, then you go down. You're in Sydney.
Yeah, I think my plane from Texas to Los Angeles was $50 or something crazy like that.
God. I did make notes. Oh, you were going to say it, weren't you?
As I never came here.
Nah. And I don't know if people know this, but the infamous performance of Ritual where Secondo is, without his face paint, that was in Australia. That was at Big Day Out in 2014.
I didn't know that until today when I fully read through the notes.
Yeah.
Today I learned. What do you think again, I'm saying when, not if, when the tour poster drops, how we've been getting Copia with the globe and the lightning bolts, and there's been, all these different variants of it. What can you see on the Australian tour poster? Do you think he's gonna have a little koala on his shoulder?
Yeah,
well, they've already done that technically. I've got the old 2019 poster on my wall, and they put kangaroos. I'm looking at it right now.
He looks like them.
There's kangaroos. It looks like Armageddon, but Neil's on there, and there's a couple of kangaroos, and
he's got his chain, so it looks like he's about to battle them, which I don't blame him.
So I imagine they do something like that again.
Or on the globe, there's something sticking out.
Just Uluru popping up.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So let's get into some little. What we're known best for is just being completely batshit unhinged. what sort of scenarios could you see in sort of both kind of real life, this could actually happen, but also in like the terms of silly, silly little headcanons? Do you want to see Copia on Bondi Beach?
Well,
Do
it's
you want to
funny
see
because
Copia getting chased by dingoes?
like when the chapter dropped, which chapter I should have wrote it down.
The beach one?
Where he's at the beach house. We were jokingly, like when it was announced, we were jokingly saying how that was in Australia and that they weren't going to announce dates, but obviously that didn't happen. But like I was thinking, like if they did announce Australian dates, I could see them doing a chapter and like, doing something, silly related to Australia, like.
He's like climbing the Story Bridge, and the Harbour Bridge, doing those climbs and his little freaking overalls.
Yeah, imagine him. Oh god, imagine like Copia he's in the Sydney Opera House and doing that. Was it in chapter 12? I can't remember what film he's referencing where he's doing the but just in the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah, he'd just be like echo, echo, and just like doing all the stupid echo related jokes.
He needs to go to Australia Zoo and like talk to the Irwins and then have like a photo with a koala.
Oh, my heart.
And then suddenly he's got chlamydia.
Yeah.
He got piss in his mouth.
First human to get it from. No.
No, I've known someone who's gotten chlamydia from a
koala. Oh, really?
Because they were a wildlife catcher and there was a koala who was in distress and it peed in his mouth.
Oh my god.
It's okay, he got cured.
I can imagine like Copia trying to pet a dingo thinking it's a friendly dog and then just getting absolutely mauled to shit.
There's literally
Not that I want that to happen.
There's shit saying like if you go to Fraser Island, like don't feed the dingoes.
Yeah.
Or if he sees a cassowary and is like, oh, what a pretty bird, and gets fucking destroyed.
I'm kind of
I literally wrote Fraser down.
If I'm disappointed that with the that fucking audition tape, he didn't be like a dingo ate my baby.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, imagine him being like Mr. G from Summer Heights High, where he's just like doing the pink, or like Jamae just like, oh my god.
You know what I could see him doing though? He could have done Crocodile Dundee, because I mean that was like one of the big movies like overseas in America at least. Like I could hear him saying, "You call that a knife? This is a knife."
Oh yeah, that would have been so good. But
again, Australia's forgotten in every aspect.
What is justice for Australia, Tobias? Come on,
we're waiting.
Yeah. We're just gonna, like we said earlier, we're just gonna fight him in like the Bunnings car park, and winner gets a snag.
Yeah, winner gets a snag. That's how it works.
And then we take him for a walk.
A snag is it's kind of like a sausage sandwich / hot dog type thing.
It's a sausage on bread with onion.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. Like, imagine like a chapter dropping where it is just like him on Bondi Beach getting stung by a fucking box jellyfish, and then all of a sudden the Bondi rescuers just come and save him.
You have to piss on his leg.
He gets stung by blue bottles.
I can already hear now him making all the jokes about like Australian heat and being like, I'm in heat.
Oh no.
We are too, Papa.
Oh, same bestie, same.
Do we want to bring up the rumor?
Thank you, Reddit, for saying that. They're going to Japan. So you know what? If you're going to Japan, come to Australia next. Come on.
Like it's not that far away.
No,
it's a 9-hour flight.
It's only 9 hours.
Come on, you can do that. It's 9 hours.
I guess we just want the same euphoria that everyone else experiences. We want that happiness, and like
I hope you get it too.
We're doing like test runs on like being outside of venues at like 7 a.m. Get back. Just so we can prepare ourselves for this. We don't know where it will be, but you know what? We will be prepared.
We've got like plans for when they do tour. Like we've already, come up with, we're gonna book hotels near the venues, and we've just roughly discussed what we will do, because there's going to be like we've gathered enough Ghesties in the server I made, because like I made one just to gather anyone up. Like they don't have to necessarily be active. For when they do fucking ever eventually tour here, and like I think at this point we're gonna have the whole barrier covered.
like fucking Pokemon.
Yeah,
Ghestie barrier squad.
literally.
Like,
Except we're not going to be like the My Chemical Romance
Yeah.
ones.
That was so bad. Shitting in diapers and stuff.
like, I've already got like my outfit planned and everything. I know what I want to wear. I know where I want to stand if it's the same, layout for the stage. I want to do my best to try and get Cerise because I will fucking just expire. I don't know if I could do meet and greet. I think I'd be too scared. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see him. Like, I feel like if I ever saw Tobias in public, I'd be like, okay, yeah, cool. Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah. But if Copia came around the corner, I think I would explode out of every single orifice on my body. Like, I don't know if I could handle that.
Can confirm that happens.
Like,
And,
shit,
like-
I've even had dreams about concerts with the Ghesties. Like, it's
all
terrible.
have. Like,
They're
I had-
premonitions, I'm convinced.
like, I had a dream that we were doing meet and greet, and like I just went to like talk to him, and like he made me laugh, but I farted at the same time. And, like, it's like a fear because I know that would happen, and I don't want him to just stare at me because I'd get the autism twitch. I was like, don't look directly at me. Stop it. I love you and I want to touch you, but please stop.
Oh, it's so nice to hear, though. I mean, you're you're more prepared than I am. Like, I go on tour next month, and I have no idea what I'm wearing.
Well, we've got years and years
Yeah.
and years and years
Yeah.
and years and years and years to prepare.
There is that. Come on, Ghost, make it happen.
And like, come here before something happens to Copia. I don't know how I would
That's
handle it.
I'm
Like,
very nervous about that.
I would be devastated if they took him away before he came here. Like, no joke, I would probably actually really struggle.
But I mean, I'm hoping, considering, because everyone was so, specifically Americans were like, oh my god, what if he dies at the September ones? Because, of the no recording thing. But then they obviously announced Latin America, so I think he'll be long.
Get fucked to the people who are going just to see him die. Joke's on you.
I feel a little bit like that. I was like, oh shit, he lives. Flying all that way to go to. I wanted to see you die, David. You go all that way and you don't even have the courtesy to die. Jesus.
So rude.
If he something happened to him at one of the Aussie shows, I think I would.
Could you
actually vomit.
imagine?
Like, I would vomit. Oh,
I mean, something
That could be
happened.
his way of apologizing.
Oh, sorry for making you wait. Now I'm dead.
Time for Copia to die.
I mean, he's died. Well, they haven't died, but like obviously the Papa switchovers have happened. Either in Sweden for the first three, and then obviously in Mexico. I don't think America's even had a switchover yet. Which
no.
whatever. Y'all get so much already. So Australia would be quite a nice change up. But didn't I mean, Tobias says a lot of things, so I take everything with a pinch of salt. Where didn't he say that obviously he's planning on covering 5 continents?
He
in
did
this
mention
next tour?
Oceania, so
Yeah, and if you're doing a world tour, it's not just North America and Europe. They're
Yeah.
not 5
I mean,
continents.
I mean, apart from like Cape Town and maybe Johannesburg, I can't see them covering Africa that much, and obviously Antarctica. That's a no. So you would think you guys are included in those 5 continents. There is 7 continents, isn't there? I'm not good with geography.
My apologies to my Middle Eastern friends. I don't see them going to any of the countries around there. Like, I know a lot of people have been really wanting Turkey. I honestly don't see them going to Turkey.
It is a shame.
Yeah.
God, why is the world got to be such a fucked up place politically?
And
We
like,
just want to see our favorite bands.
I know that there are some like other European countries that are more closer to like the Russian border. I know that they wouldn't necessarily go there. Like, I don't see them. Like, as we know, Eurovision had to be changed over to like Liverpool because even though Ukraine won, it's too much of a risk. So I don't see them going to Ukraine just purely for safety reasons.
I mean, Avatar brought that up because I watched Johannes live last night, and someone asked about that. And yeah, obviously it's unfortunate, but hopefully some years down the line it can finally happen. But like, definitely not now.
As much as it sucks, it makes sense. Whereas like I said, the most dangerous thing that's going on with you guys is like the fucking snakes and spiders and fox.
Fucking animals.
That's not the same thing. That is not an act of war. Maybe an act of war on nature, but whatever.
We did have an emu war, and the emus won.
Yeah.
I fucking love that so much. Wasn't there something to do with bananas as well, or was that not your country?
Oh, I don't remember. I just know that the emus won.
Fucking military couldn't outdo the I know you said emos.
The Great
Oh.
Emu War.
So
Real
freaking
thing.
funny.
Look it up.
I also love that on your coat of arms that the reason you guys have an emu and a kangaroo is because they can't walk backwards.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
kangaroos, they can't go backwards, so it's more like, hey, we'll fucking fight. I will fucking fight. Even though I'm technically a Kiwi. My piece of paper says that I can live here.
Oh, I think we got it off our chest. I feel very
It's like a therapy
relaxed now.
session.
It was, yeah. Nice to get it off our chest.
Group therapy.
Yes.
Please come to Australia.
For the love
Please.
of God, we're waiting.
Well, guys,
Ooh.
thanks for chatting with me today.
Really appreciate it.
And I really hope you guys get your show soon. I think it's way, way overdue.
I agree.
Definitely. Okay, well, until next time, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.